30th January is our 7th wedding anniversary, and it's also my birthday. Yes, see what I did there? I got married on my birthday, so how am I ever going to forget the date of our wedding anniversary? Woohoo! And as I did promise in my previous videos, I intend to share 7 lessons that I've learned in our 7 years of marriage. And if this is something that is of interest to you, please keep watching and do consider subscribing to this channel so you can follow our journey and learn the lessons that I'm going to be sharing on this channel. Welcome back. My name is Joel Danya, and in this channel we discuss all things love, marriage and parenting. In this video, I'm going to be sharing lesson number 1 that I learned the hard way. When we first got married, I found myself complaining a lot about many things, and to be honest, unnecessary things. Personal confession, I do think that I've got some elements of OCD in me, so I like things done in a particular way at a particular time, and once I put something here, I want to still find it there. I want to see things done in a particular style and stuff. And as these things weren't happening as I wanted them to be, I usually got frustrated, and I found myself complaining and criticizing every now and then. Why is this thing here? Why did you leave this thing this way? Why is this thing not here? And I just found that the more I complained about these things, they didn't stop. She kept doing them. So I wasn't sure if she was doing them on purpose or if it was something that I needed to look inward. And when I looked inward, I realized that it was more of a me problem than a her problem. And so when I stopped complaining and started appreciating her for the things that she was doing, things changed. That was where I realized that appreciation is a key component for a happy and successful relationship or marriage. Let's face it, naturally we are all by default going to look at the negative in every situation. But until we become intentional in seeing the positive in people and in situations, then we are going to continually be in a state of constant complaint and criticism. And that wasn't something I wanted to do. I didn't want to keep complaining about the same thing over and over again, because what that blinded me off was the other positive aspects of my lovely wife. The things that she was doing genuinely, the things that she was going out of her way to do to make this marriage work, I wasn't seeing them. Just because I was fixated in making sure that things were done in my way or the way I felt was the best. I was listening to a talk recently, and a very important statement that stuck with me was that people go where they feel welcomed, but stay where they are valued. And the way to make your spouse or your partner feel valued is to show appreciation. Let's face it, no one wants to be taken for granted. And how painful will it be if in your heart of hearts, you know you're doing your best. You're doing your best to make this thing work. But the other party, all they constantly do is to point out your faults to you. The root of many conflicts in relationships is usually a lack of appreciation of each other. So conflicts build up when constantly there is a lack of appreciation of each other and the things you are individually doing to make the relationship work. According to psychologists, there's a magic ratio of positive interactions versus negative interactions that predicts the health of a marriage. And that ratio is 5:1, which means that for every 1 negative interaction that could potentially lead to conflict, you need 5 positive interactions to counterbalance that single 1 negative interaction. That means that for your relationship to work, you need to focus more on the positive traits of your partner. And that was something that I found the hard way, for which I'm humble enough to say, I am still on this journey. I'm still learning. There are still times that I get angry about things not done my way. But I have decided to continuously cultivate the attitude of gratitude by showing appreciation to my spouse for the things that she's doing and also just for who she is to me. One of the things that I prayed so much about when I was praying into my marriage was that God give me someone who will give me peace of mind. And that is something that I will say that I've enjoyed for the last 7 years. Thank you, Angela, for giving me peace of mind to do all these things that I'm doing. Appreciating your partner for who they are and for the things that they do to keep your family, to keep your home, and to keep your relationship going is very, very, very key. For me, I found that I complained a lot when I was stressed, when I was angry, when things weren't going my way. That was when I complained. And the easy target here usually was poor Angela. So when I did that reflection and I realized that no, this is not working and this is something that I need to look more inward, I realized that I needed to do better. Showing appreciation to your spouse or your partner must be done in both in word and in deed. Let them feel valued. Let them know that you appreciate all that they are doing. Let them know that you see their positive traits. Because the more you speak that life into them, the more you appreciate them, the more they will naturally do more of those positive things. And obviously, that will strengthen your relationship. A few years ago, I read a book about the 5 love languages. And if you haven't read that book, I highly recommend that book to you. And very recently, we both took the 5 love languages test online. And the predominant love languages for my wife, we noticed, was gifts and words of affirmation. Gifts and words of affirmation. Thankfully for me, there's a cheaper option, words of affirmation. And that is all about appreciating Angela for all that she is and for what she's doing for our family. Being a mother, being a wife, keeping the home together is something that I constantly need to remember and to remind her about. You may be watching this video and be asking yourself, how can I grow in my appreciation to my spouse? I've got some tips for you. First is be intentional in seeing the positive in your spouse and constantly tell yourself that I am not just going to be fixated on the negatives. I want to see the good in my spouse. And it's not enough just to see that and keep it to yourself. See it, say it. Let them know. Tell them in word that I appreciate you for what you're doing. I appreciate you for this, for that, and for that. And you really need to be very specific rather than vague. You'd also want to be careful so that it doesn't sound like flattery, but it has to be genuine and from the heart that you're telling them exactly what you appreciate them for. And listen, words are not enough. You need to show it in deed as well. You need to practically do something to let them know. Take them on that walk. Buy them that coffee. Buy them that gift. Do that laundry for them. Take them to the salon. And it's all the little things that makes your marriage stronger. And it's all the little things that shows your gratitude to your partner and which goes a long way to strengthen your relationship. And if you're in a relationship and you feel unappreciated in your relationship, I'll advise you to look inward first. How are you showing your own appreciation to your spouse? And tell you what, once you start taking that step of being intentional in showing gratitude, showing your appreciation to your spouse, it has a domino effect of they returning that back to you. So you give it a go and let me know how you get on with that. I hope you've learned a thing or two from this video today about appreciating your spouse. And I just want to encourage you to do something special for your spouse today. Say a kind word of appreciation to them or do a deed of appreciation to them. And you will see how your relationship will grow stronger and stronger and happier and happier. Please do consider subscribing to this channel and keep an eye out on this channel where I'll share the other 6 lessons that I've learned. So until I come your way again with the next video with lesson number 2, thank you for watching and God bless us all.